now it's time to decode the latest developments, and to do that I'm joined by Dr. Charan Singh, who's the eminent economist and the CEO of EGROW. Good afternoon, Dr. Singh. Thank you so much for joining us here at this afternoon broadcast. Now, in the latest development, the government has taken a huge hit on its taxation revenues with the recent announcement only to ease the burden on 140 crore Indians, unlike other countries. Help us understand its economic benefits for the common citizens and economic implications for the government.
Thank you very much for asking these questions, because these are very, very important in the current context where there is some panic all across the world. There is some worry and tension even in India. I think the government of India, with its vast and very rich experience during COVID, through which they had come through a laser beam strategy, which ensured growth continuity in India, unlike other countries in the world, which were doing huge stimulus, but you see their growth suffered. Indian government planned it very well. With that experience with them, that's exactly how they are now performing. And I'm very impressed. The fact that they have set up 7 groups, and each of these groups have various aspects of the economy are being covered. The fertilizers are being covered, the information is being covered, and of course, petroleum goods are covered, the economy is covered. So that means the government is thinking that there could be implications of this war on Indian economy on various aspects, not only economics, but even other, and the groups have been formed to take care of that. Now, when it comes to prices, all over the world, prices have been impacted. They are rising, somewhere 20, somewhere 30%. In our own country, the government has made effort that the common man does not have to worry about this impact. So they have given excise duty cuts. That's obviously going to impact the fisc. But I think the government is very right. The common man will not be impacted. The oil marketing companies, they could be impacted. But the government is taking that hit on its own and assuring that even these companies do not get hurt and do not then pass on the impact to the common man. So I think the reduction that they have done in the excise duty of petrol and diesel by 10 rupees, which is a significant amount, is very good. And then they have done the windfall tax on diesel exports. That also they have done, I thought, is also very good. And the aviation turbine fuel has also been exempted from special additional excise duties. With this step, 3 things have happened. The government has first taken the brunt on its own self, and I think rightfully so in difficult times. That's what the government should do. The second, government has also given the consumer the confidence that the government is watching, is alert, and will do anything it can so that the economic growth trend is not impacted. People can go along with their life in a normal way, both for consumption. You know, oil impacts consumption. And oil also impacts manufacturing to a great extent, and services also in a great extent. So the second point is that there's nothing to worry. Government is alert and government will take care of this. The third and the foremost, which I think is very, very important, is the overall impact, which I said through the 7 committees that the government has constituted. I must also mention, and this I'm very impressed, and that's why I'm especially mentioning it, the government has been thinking of alternate sources of energy for some time now. Solar energy, wind energy have already been thought about, and much has been done. On solar, great amount of work has been done, investment done, subsidies provided. I think that foresight is coming to show now that in case something happens on the oil, we have alternate sources of energy. So on the energy front, I must say, one should congratulate the government that they have shown us foresight through which planning has been happening over the years.
Also, the government of India has decided to increase the commercial LPG allocation of states to 70%, with 20% allocation given to industries such as steel, automobile, textile and other labour-intensive industries. Does that also eliminate the possibility of resource and energy crunch as feared by the people earlier?
I must congratulate the government. I must thank this government which is listening. And of course, you know, the Prime Minister is speaking to the Chief Ministers today. And in that sense, the countries together standing united, which he mentioned even in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, that at this time of crisis we need to stand together. So now I think the very fact that he's meeting the chief ministers again is building confidence that the government is alert, government is ready to take things together. Now, the point that you have made about commercial, you know that what had happened, there were news coming that some restaurants are closing and the stress is being felt on the commercial cylinder side. I think they have taken the bull by the horn straight away, and by addressing that issue straight away, it again instills confidence in the minds of consumers that the government is alert, the government is listening, and wherever the pressure points are there, the government will intervene and try to ease it. Now, I'm not really surprised because during COVID, this is exactly what was happening. Government would come in every now and then, and they realize there's another pressure point which has developed, they'll come with a solution for that. And 2 or 3 weeks later, they'll again come for the other one. So I think this government, drawing upon its vast experience during COVID and how effective it was, very unique in the whole world, I think the government is drawing upon that experience and following the same strategy now, taking overall picture, taking at the ground level another picture, and then trying to link the two and address wherever there is stress, address it then and then. I think that's the right strategy.
Indeed, and also, Dr. Singh, PM Modi-led government, they've been preparing for such critical situations since the Russia-Ukraine crisis. And every time they've succeeded in putting the interest of the common citizens above all amidst the geopolitical headwinds. But for how long will we be able to continue with this plan since we do not have any deadline on the end of this war?
Well, you know, my own thought process is a little different from what you just said. If the government has foresight, it has the vision, it has the tools, it has the techniques and the intention, anything is possible. You imagine COVID came in 3 phases. While the rest of the world suffered very severely, the rest of the world made predictions that India, there will be lots of mortality rate. Nothing happened because, of course, we know that there were problems, global problems. India also got impacted. But the point I'm making is the type of doomsday predictions that the rest of the world had made, that never happened in India. And why did it not happen? Because our policies are laser beamed, very strategic, and we have a foresight. The intentions are very good. That exactly is happening right now. While in the rest of the world, you find the prices are going up. In our country, they're not going up for the consumer. Again, the reason is very simple. The intentions are clear. We have to make sure we are a Viksit Bharat. We are on the path and growth trajectory. That should not be impacted. People should feel confident that their government is taking care of them and their problems. And that is why the government swings in wherever it needs to. It comes in. It's trying to build across the country a viewpoint. PM talking to the chief ministers, PM spoke at the parliament, both the houses, and then each of these measures are being taken right on time. So I think even if this conflict, to my mind, this conflict should not last too long. I'm sure it will get resolved. Efforts are being made. But even if it is a little longer, I'm not too worried because you know the government is listening and reacting and is able to absorb most of the shock. Try to minimize or mitigate the impact that will happen on the common man. So to that extent, it is very encouraging that the common man is insulated from these volatility and from these global shocks.
But at the same time, India has a vision of becoming the 3rd largest economy and also developed nation by the year 2047. Will this in any way impact India's ambition and vision of becoming Viksit Bharat, developed India by 2047?
That you have asked, because this must be in the mind of many people. Given my age and my experience, I can tell you that tornadoes come and then storms come, but that doesn't change the weather pattern or doesn't change the growth trajectory. One has to be prepared for it. And when we talk about Viksit Bharat, it is a target which is achievable. The Prime Minister, the policies, the government's intentions, taking everybody together, saying that the states have also to join. So therefore, everybody is making an effort. The whole country is making an effort. States, people, association, trade bodies, everybody is making an effort. Institutions are making an effort. So these are little hiccups which always come on the way, and therefore they would be tide over. There's nothing much to worry. Yes, there's a little setback because this can have an impact for a few months. Once it's resolved, I'm sure there are many countries which are rich in oil. There are countries like ours who have already prepared for windmills and solar, so our dependence on oil is going to be to that extent mitigated and curtailed. So I think, and I also believe as a professor, I have generally seen if you give the students hard quizzes and hard midterm exams, they perform better in their final exams. So therefore, I feel these little hiccups that come on the way should only prepare us on a long haul. We have 21 years to go to 2047. It is doable, and I don't think as a major setback. But yes, a little hiccup has come, and we can take care.
And indeed, India will remain resilient in the face of all the challenges. Thank you so much, Dr. Singh, for joining us and getting us a rounded perspective